She argued, "Your apologies mean nothing when you keep lying." About my work schedule. I said, "Speaking of lies." When I showed her the PI photos of her yoga classes at her ex's house, the apology demands stopped. I, 34 male, guess I'm writing this because I need to process what just happened. Been with Elena, 31, for 3 years, living together for the last year and a half. Thought we were solid, planning our future, the whole deal. Turns out I was planning while she was doing other things. It started about 2 months ago. My company landed a massive contract that required some serious overtime. I'm talking 60 to 70-hour weeks, weekend work, the whole shebang. Not ideal, but the overtime pay was insane, and we'd been talking about buying a house. Elena seemed supportive at first, said she understood it was temporary. Then the accusations started. First it was little comments. "You sure you're actually at work? Funny how your phone goes straight to voicemail when you're supposedly in meetings." I explained our office has terrible reception in the conference rooms. She'd roll her eyes. Then it escalated. She started demanding I send selfies from my desk, wanted to see my location sharing, asked for photos of my overtime sheets. I did it all because I had nothing to hide and figured she was just feeling neglected with my crazy hours. But nothing was ever enough. She'd find issues with everything. The timestamp on the selfie was 2 minutes off from when she texted. The overtime sheet looked suspicious because my manager's signature was slightly different than usual. My location showed me at the coffee shop next door for 10 minutes. Yeah, because I grabbed coffee. The breaking point was 3 weeks ago. I came home after a 14-hour day, exhausted, just wanting to shower and crash. Elena was waiting in the living room, arms crossed. "Your apologies mean nothing when you keep lying," she screamed before I even put my laptop bag down. "What are you talking about? I literally just left work. You can call the security desk if you want." "Oh please, like you haven't coached them to cover for you." "I'm not stupid, Ethan. I know what late nights at the office really mean." "Elena, I've shown you everything. Pay stubs, emails, photos. What more do you want?" "I want the truth. Just admit it." "Admit what? That I'm busting my ass so we can afford a down payment? Yeah. Guilty as charged." She stormed off to the bedroom and slammed the door. I slept on the couch. The weird thing? While she was going nuclear about my work schedule, she'd become super protective of her phone. Always face down. Took it to the bathroom, suddenly had a passcode when she never did before. And her yoga classes went from twice a week to 4 times a week, sometimes running 3 to 4 hours. "It's a workshop series," she'd say. "Very intensive." My buddy Derek pulled me aside at a barbecue and asked if everything was okay. Apparently his wife Natalie had invited Elena to join their yoga studio since they went to the same one. Elena had declined, saying she preferred her current place. When Natalie asked which studio, Elena got weird and changed the subject. That planted the seed. I felt guilty for even thinking it, but the hypocrisy was eating at me. Here she was accusing me of cheating while being shady as hell about her own whereabouts. So I did something I'm not proud of. I hired a PI. Cost me $1,500 for a week of surveillance, but worth every penny. Because guess what? There was no yoga studio. Her mat and workout clothes were just props. She was driving straight to her ex's house, Garrett, the guy she dated for 5 years before me, the one who moved across the country for work, but apparently moved back 8 months ago. The PI got photos. Elena walking in with her yoga mat, coming out 3 hours later with her hair messed up, kissing him in the doorway, him grabbing her ass as she left. Pretty definitive stuff. I sat on this for 3 days, trying to process, made copies of everything, consulted a lawyer about our lease, thank God we hadn't bought that house yet, slowly moved my important stuff to Derek's garage, waited for the right moment. It came last night. Another accusation session. She'd called my office, and when the receptionist said I was in a meeting, Elena decided that was proof the receptionist was in on it. "Your apologies mean nothing when you keep lying." Same song, different day. I set my phone on the coffee table. Speaking of lies. What's that supposed to mean? I pulled up the photos. "How was yoga today?" Her face went white. "You had me followed?" "Just returning the favor. You've been investigating me for months. Figured I'd check out your alibi too." This is different. You're right, because I actually was at work." She tried to flip it. said I drove her to it with my neglect. That Garrett just understood her in ways I didn't, that she wasn't really cheating because she knew I was cheating first, so it was just evening the score. Elena, I've been working. There's literal documentation. Pay stubs showing the overtime, security footage if you want it. Meanwhile, you've been banging your ex while accusing me of exactly what you were doing. It's not like that. The PI followed you for a week. You went to Garrett's place 7 times. 7. That's a lot of yoga. She started crying then. Not sad tears, angry tears. How dare I violate her privacy? How dare I not trust her? How this was all my fault for being emotionally unavailable. I told her she had 24 hours to pack her stuff and go. She's not on the lease, it's in my name from before we met. She said I couldn't just kick her out. I said, watch me. Where am I supposed to go? I hear Garrett has a nice place. Very flexible hours, no appointment needed. She left this morning, took her yoga mat with her. The irony wasn't lost on either of us. My phone's been blowing up with texts from her friends about what an asshole I am. Apparently I'm controlling and abusive for having her followed. The cheating part seems to be conveniently left out of her version of events. I'm exhausted, hurt, and somehow relieved all at once. At least I know I'm not crazy. All those gaslighting sessions about my lies while she was literally living a double life. The projection was Olympic level. Going to take a personal day tomorrow, first time in 2 months. Actually earned it. Update 1. Holy crap, did not expect this to blow up. Thanks for all the support. Figured I'd update because Elena went full nuclear, and it's been a ride. So after she left, I enjoyed exactly 18 hours of peace. Changed the locks. Yes, it's legal. Checked with my lawyer. She's not on the lease, and I gave her reasonable time to get her stuff. Boxed up the things she left behind. Had my first good night's sleep in weeks. Then the extinction burst started. But like with a twist I didn't see coming. First, she tried the emotional manipulation route. Showed up at my office during lunch. Security wouldn't let her up. Bless that overtime documenting front desk. So she waited in the lobby. For 3 hours, when I finally came down, she was in full performance mode. Tears, runny mascara, the works. Ethan, please, I made a mistake. It didn't mean anything. Elena, you went there 7 times in 1 week. That's not a mistake, that's a routine. You don't understand. Garrett means nothing, it was just physical. Cool, so was my relationship with my job, apparently. Which you accused me of cheating with. My coworkers were watching. She knew it. Tried to grab my arm. Can we please talk in private? You're humiliating me. I'm literally just trying to leave work. You know, that place you were convinced I was using as a cover story? She followed me to my car, getting louder. You can't just throw away 3 years. I didn't, you did. 7 times last week alone. But here's where it gets good. Remember how I mentioned she was weirdly protective of her phone? Well, turns out Garrett wasn't the only yoga instructor in her life. 2 days after the lobby incident, I get a call from an unknown number. It's a dude named Terrence. Is this Ethan? Who's asking? This is Terrence. I think your girlfriend is also my girlfriend. Plot. Freaking. Twist. Turns out Elena met Terrence on a dating app 3 months ago. She told him she was single, just out of a toxic relationship with a controlling ex who was obsessed with work. Sound familiar? Terrence found out about me when Elena had to explain why she suddenly needed a place to stay. She spun some story about her roommate, me, kicking her out illegally, and how she needed somewhere to stay while she fought it in court. But Terrence isn't an idiot. Her story wasn't adding up. Why did her roommate have all these photos of them together on social media? Why was she listed as in a relationship until last week? So he did some digging, found my LinkedIn, and reached out. We met for a beer. Dude brought receipts, screenshots of their conversations. She'd been telling him for months about her abusive ex, me, who she was trying to leave safely. Meanwhile, she's living in my apartment, sleeping in my bed, and accusing me of cheating. The kicker? She was juggling both him and Garrett. Her yoga schedule was Monday, Wednesday, Garrett, Tuesday, Thursday, Terrence, Friday, girls' night, still investigating this one. Weekends, playing devoted girlfriend to me. Terrence showed me her texts. The days she was accusing me of lying about work, she was literally texting him from my apartment about how she couldn't wait to see him the next day. One text exchange really got me. Elena, Can't wait for our Tuesday date. Your roommate won't be weird about you going out? He's always at work. Literally always. It's pathetic. This was sent while I was in the shower after a 12-hour shift. Terrence and I compared notes. The timing was insane. She'd accuse me of cheating, storm off to the bedroom to cool down, and literally be texting him from our bed. The level of compartmentalization is almost impressive. We both blocked her. But she wasn't done. She showed up at my apartment at 2 a.m., hammering on the door. "Ethan, I know you're in there. We need to talk." I didn't answer. "I saw you met with Terrence." "He's lying. He's just jealous." Still didn't answer. "You had no right to contact him. That's stalking." The irony. The irony. "I'll call the police. You can't lock me out of my home." Actually, I can. It's not her home. She kept this up for 20 minutes. My neighbor finally threatened to call the cops for disturbing the peace. Elena left, but not before keying my car. Yeah, she keyed my car. The woman who was cheating with at least 2 guys keyed my car because I found out about it. I have it on camera. Parking garage security. Filed a police report. Damage is about $800. But wait, there's more. Remember how she was protective of her phone? Well, Terrence had her Apple Pay password. She used his address for deliveries while lying to me. He didn't share it with me, but he did share that her calendar had some interesting entries. Yoga was obviously Garrett. Spin class was Terrence. Book club was someone named Antonio. Wine tasting was someone named Keith. Keith. There was a Keith. This woman had a full roster, a starting lineup, an entire workout routine of dudes. The last few days have been her cycling through all of them, trying to find a place to stay. Garrett kicked her out when he found out about Terrence. Terrence was done when he found out about me and Garrett. Antonio's wife apparently answered the door. Keith ghosted her. So yesterday I get another call. It's Elena's mom. "Ethan, what did you do to my daughter?" I found out she was cheating with multiple people. She said you had her stalked, that you're trying to ruin her life. Ma'am, she was seeing at least 4 other guys while living with me and accusing me daily of cheating because I was working overtime. I have proof. Long pause. 4? That I know of. Oh, Elena. Her mom sounded defeated. I'll talk to her. Haven't heard from Elena since her mom called. Her friends stopped texting after I sent one mass response with the highlights of the PI report and Terrence's screenshots. Amazing how quick they went from "you're an abusive monster" to complete radio silence. I'm getting the car fixed next week. Already changed the locks. Therapy starts Tuesday. And I'm taking a real vacation next month. First one in 2 years. Oh, and the overtime project? Finished early. Got a bonus, which I'm definitely not spending on a house with anyone anytime soon. Single life is looking pretty good right now. At least I know where I'll be sleeping every night. Can't say the same for Elena. Update 2, last update because honestly I'm ready to close this chapter, but figured I'd share the conclusion because it's something. So after the car keying incident, I pressed charges. Apparently this was Elena's first wake-up call that actions have consequences. Her lawyer, yeah, she got a lawyer for a misdemeanor vandalism charge, reached out to see if I'd be willing to drop the charges in exchange for her paying for the damages. Nah, she can pay for the damages and deal with the charges. Court date was last week. She showed up looking rough, like real rough. Designer clothes replaced with basic stuff, hair grown out showing her real color. The confidence was gone. She pled guilty to vandalism. Got community service, restitution, and a fine. Judge wasn't impressed by her emotional distress defense. Ma'am, emotional distress doesn't give you the right to destroy property, especially when said distress was caused by your own actions being discovered. But here's the real kicker. Remember Antonio's wife? Well, she reached out to me. Turns out Antonio wasn't just another guy, he was Garrett's best friend. Yeah. Elena was sleeping with her ex and his best friend. Wife found out because Elena left her yoga mat at their place. Seriously, this mat saw more action than a actual yoga studio. Antonio's wife, Diane, was piecing together the timeline. Elena had been seeing Antonio for 6 months, before she even started accusing me of cheating. Diane and I compared notes, and it gets worse. Elena had told Antonio she was single and living with a gay roommate, me, apparently. Told him I was hardly ever home because of my toxic boyfriend. I'm straight. The boyfriend was my job, I guess. The web of lies was insane. To me, she was at yoga. To Garrett, she was unhappy with her controlling boyfriend. To Terrence, she was escaping an abusive ex. To Antonio, she was single with a gay roommate. To Keith, still unknown, he won't return anyone's calls. Diane met with Garrett's girlfriend. Oh yeah, Garrett had a girlfriend too. Elena was the side chick to her ex. This whole thing was like a pyramid scheme of cheating. We all met up, me, Terrence, Diane, and Garrett's girlfriend Lisa. Called ourselves the Elena Survivors Club. Shared stories over drinks. The patterns were terrifying. 1. She accused everyone of cheating. 2. She was incredibly protective of her phone with everyone. 3. She had elaborate lies for each person. 4. She used the same yoga mat prop for every affair. 5. She had a rotation schedule that would make a Fortune 500 CEO jealous. Lisa had the best story. Apparently, Elena would show up at Garrett's place crying about how I was probably cheating right now, while actively cheating. The mental gymnastics were Olympic gold medal worthy. But the true finale came last Thursday. Elena reached out, not to apologize, oh no, to ask if I could be a character reference for her new apartment application. The audacity. The sheer, unfiltered audacity. Hi Ethan, I know things ended badly between us, but I really need this apartment. Could you please just tell them I was a good tenant? I'll pay you back the car damage in installments. I responded, Elena, you keyed my car, cheated with multiple people, and accused me of cheating for working overtime. What exactly would you like me to reference? Can't you just move on? It's been a month. This is getting ridiculous. You're right. It is ridiculous. Good luck with your apartment search. She sent 15 more texts. I didn't read them. Blocked her number. Found out through Terrence that she's now staying with her mom 2 hours away. Apparently she's telling people I ruined her life by exposing her privacy. The lack of accountability is stunning. As for me, I'm good. Genuinely good. The overtime project led to a promotion. I'm looking at buying a small condo, just for me. Started dating casually but being very upfront about it. Trust but verify is my new motto. Joined an actual yoga class. It's relaxing. No exes there, which is apparently more than Elena could say. The car's fixed, the locks are changed. The drama is over. And I learned a valuable lesson. When someone accuses you relentlessly of something with no evidence, check what they're doing. Projection is real. Also, if your partner suddenly takes up intensive yoga, maybe verify the studio exists. Just saying. Thanks for following this wild ride. I'm out. Time to live my boring, honest, non-cheating life. It's pretty nice. Final update. Okay, I swear this is the last update, but the universe apparently decided the Elena saga needed an epilogue. Remember Keith, the mysterious fourth guy who ghosted her? Well, he reached out. Turns out Keith is 58 years old. Married for 30 years, and the CEO of a mid-sized company. Elena had met him at a professional networking event I'd encouraged her to attend. The irony continues to compound. She told him she was a single entrepreneur looking for mentorship. He thought he was helping a young professional. The wine tastings were supposed to be business meetings that she kept steering toward personal territory. When everything exploded, his assistant, who was suspicious of Elena's constant messaging, did some digging and found out the truth. Keith was mortified. His wife knows everything. He told her immediately when he realized Elena's intentions. He wanted to apologize to me for inadvertently contributing to the situation. Dude sent me a $500 gift card to a nice steakhouse as an apology. Wild. I told him he was a victim too, but I kept the gift card. Derek and I had a great dinner. But here's the actual final chapter. Last week, I'm at Target buying normal stuff. Detergent, protein bars, a new yoga mat. Yes, I see the irony. I turn into the shampoo aisle and there she is. Elena, with her mom, shopping for what looked like job interview clothes. She saw me, I saw her. Her mom saw us both. The mom immediately goes, Ethan, oh honey, I'm so sorry about. Mom, don't. Elena cut her off. Elena looked different, not just the appearance stuff I mentioned before. She looked tired. Defeated, maybe? For a second, I almost felt bad. Almost. Ethan, she said quietly. Elena, I nodded. She started, then stopped. Her mom was looking between us like she was watching a bomb defusal. I'm sorry, she finally said, for all of it. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, I'm in therapy now, mandatory from the court thing, but I'm actually going, like actually working on it. That's good. I know it doesn't fix anything. I wanted you to know, her mom added. She's living with me, working at my friend's flower shop, trying to start over. Elena looked embarrassed. Mom? No phones allowed during work hours, her mom continued, giving Elena a pointed look. And she has a flip phone now, by choice. I actually laughed at that. Elena managed a small smile. Good luck with everything, I said, and meant it. You too. Congrats on the promotion, I heard through people. We went our separate ways. No drama, no scenes. Just two people who used to know each other, buying shampoo on a Tuesday. Derek thinks I'm crazy, but I hope she actually does work on herself. Not for me. That ship didn't just sail, it hit an iceberg, caught fire and sank to the bottom of the ocean. But everyone deserves a chance to be better than they were. As for me, life's good. Boring good. Normal good. I work reasonable hours now. My new condo closes next month. I'm dating a teacher named Becca who has exactly 0 ex-boyfriends named Garrett and attends real yoga at a verifiable studio. She thinks the Elena story is hilarious. We joke that our code word for checking if this is real is yoga mat. That's it. That's the end. Elena's in therapy, I'm in a healthy relationship, and somewhere out there's a yoga mat that's probably relieved it's finally being used for actual yoga. Thanks for coming on this weird journey with me. May all your partner's yoga classes involve actual yoga, and may your overtime always be just overtime. Peace out, Ethan. The guy who was actually just working late.